I'm Dorothy Rowe, and the video you're about to watch is a clip from a live webinar. If you enjoy the content of this video, please like and subscribe. I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you. Getting a real light up for the kidneys. That's so good. Clearing fear from the kidneys. Oh. The thing about the kidneys is that they sit in the back. The back being a place where it's more like hidden information. And one of the roles of the kidneys obviously is to sort and categorize, right? It's like, I think the second spot, where the nutrient-rich blood comes from the gut, and it goes first to the liver, then it goes to the kidneys. So it's like the second stop of this nutrient-rich blood. But because the kidneys are in the back, that's where we deal with information that's hidden. It's also a place where we deal with the past. The kidneys, the back is the past. And so karma accrues from the past. And yesterday we did a big healing for incompletions, because desires rise up, and then eventually, whether it's immediately or in a single lifetime or later, they are resolved and completed and fulfilled. And so there's this process by which there's more unfulfilled desire in the past than there is in the future. Because as we move along through the timeline of the human experience, we fulfill desires, we complete things, we do those things that we wanted to do. So the kidneys represent not only things hidden from view, so subtler, things in the subtler field. And the way the kidneys function is very subtle. It's abstract enough that it's one of the areas. My sister-in-law is a medical doctor, and she was really interested when she found out I was doing energy healing. And she said, you know, if you ever find a solution or a healing for the kidneys, it would be greatly appreciated, because modern medicine doesn't really have, Western medicine doesn't really have a lot of effective treatments for kidneys. I mean, there's dialysis, but, you know, one would hope that there would be a way to heal the kidneys before it comes to replacing your blood every 3 days, right? So yeah, that's an area, it's mysterious. It's mysterious to Western medicine. And I think one of the reasons is that the nature of the kidneys is to represent that which is abstract, which is hidden, which is at a level that requires very, very deep discrimination in order to uncover or unfurl what's happening there. And of course, the kidneys have such an important job of regulating blood pressure in the body. And the heart is the orchestrator, the heart is the administrator of basically almost all physical functions from the level of electromagnetic influence, because the heart's electromagnetic field is so powerful. The beating of the heart, so powerful. So the kidneys are like, kidneys in the spleen are taking care of the heart. So like they have like a really vital role, a really important role in the body. Clearing fear from the kidneys, clearing fear from the adrenal glands, clearing fear from the endocrine system in general, overall, but also clearing ancestral fear of the unknown, of those subtle areas of creation. Clearing also illusions and beliefs that, and these are also ancestral, that if something is not obvious or it's unknown, then it's somehow bigger and scarier than me, that somehow it's outside of my range of autonomy. And it's true that we have to get awareness into areas in order to affect those areas well. Remember, we also journey into the unknown in sleep and dream state, in experiences that we have defined as unconscious and subconscious experiences, but we still, that's why people's lives, that's why we live, right? That's why we somehow don't just implode immediately, or that's why things manage to continue moving forward. Even though we face challenges and lessons and problems in life, we still manage to somehow muddle through, right? Because we are actually fathoming those deep areas, and our consciousness absolutely resides at those deep areas, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. And you have support. You have support from your connection to the source of creation, which is absolutely good. So that anchor is getting stronger, and that anchor is getting stronger for the kidneys. And one of the ways it's getting stronger for the kidneys, so this is like a part of the body that's realizing its potential. We could say the kidneys are realizing their potential. Because consciousness, as it starts to manifest, it can create orderly structures. So awareness coming in with the right emotion is part of the story. But another part of the story is that we start to build a scaffolding upon which the physical material reality sits. And we build it from the ground up, the foundation up, that finest intention of the heart, that really deep intention that helps set the stage for optimal healing. It activates your body's healing intelligence. That's happening here at the causal level. But at the astral level, the next layer up, I'm using my background as a metaphor for the field of consciousness. At the astral level is where we encounter the web of life. The astral level is where the laws of nature that allow awareness to flow in specified regions, like you pick up a thread of an idea. Even people will talk about like you're picking up a thread of an idea and then elaborating or unpacking it or evolving through that elaboration. So same thing, that at the astral level, there are all these threads of awareness. Awareness just appears as threads. And I do have a picture, I guess I can flash it up here for everybody, made by my dear and amazing cosmic friend, Harry Alto. He's an artist. Oh, look, it's the web of life. So there's, you can barely see it because my chair's in the way, but there's this little stick figure guy right here. For those of you who haven't seen it, we can attach this picture for you to view under magnification at home. But anyway, the little guy is here, and all these threads, all this field of threads around the little guy are an illustration of the way the body looks at the astral level, but also the causal level is represented here too, because there are all these little nodes along here that have other little tinier stick figure guys here and here and here and here, that are manifest forms of consciousness, which are actually, they comprise, they represent like big sections, like this section right here, comprise regions of your causal body as well. So this illustration here is supposed to take you from the causal level of creation, the deepest, all the way to the most manifest. It's a lovely thing. You should definitely check out Harry Alto. I've interviewed him on my website, and Andrew Hewson and I have interviewed. Of course, he's got a backup, but he's a great guy, a very cosmic, very amazing man. Highly recommended, beautiful person. And anyway, and he said I could share his picture as much as I wanted. So it's like a pleasure to have that to share with all of you. Anyway, the point is that the kidneys have a little life force in them. They have a soul. The kidneys have a soul. And a particular part of the body can reach down and connect to its anchor into the source of creation. Even if some other part of the body, like the head or the mouth at this, at this point, are busy doing something else. If the mouth is busy talking, it's no problem. The kidneys can still go, wait a minute, I've got a connection here. I've got a relationship with the source of creation. So as the connection of the kidneys, which start out physical, and the awareness is helping to soften up that love feeling in the heart, that compassion, it softens this range of expression of the physiology. So it's easier for awareness to settle down and to experience what the kidney looks like down here at the deep level of creation. And at the deep level of creation, the kidney has, you could say, its own little soul, its own little angel, its own little personality. We could say it has its own little personality that comprises a region of your causal body. And in that region, all the laws of nature responsible for the creation and the maintenance and the healing of the kidneys are in that space. So awareness connects up with it. And when you connect up with these aspects of the physiology, I use the Vedic term Devata because there is a Vedic term for that. God bless the ancient wise seers for having created names for things that we need names for. So the Devata of the physiology are the, you could say, like little angelic forms in the body that oversee and care for the different organs. As we connect up with the Devata of the kidneys, one of the things we notice is how the kidneys, being a twofold structure, one looks forward, one looks back. One is warm, one is cooler. One represents more the outward stroke of awareness, one represents more the inward stroke, right? Because this is the way the body is. The left side and the right side are like that. But it's more than that. Because they're two parts, they can reflect upon each other and they help raise each other up. The right and left look to each other and they say, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm okay. How you doing? Right? Like the kidneys, and they're even a little curved like that. So they're kind of curved towards each other, talking to each other like that. I'm not kidding. There is a communication that takes place between the kidneys that allows them, like two eyes that are just enough different from each other that they can provide a perspective for each other. So the kidneys do this. The right kidney's a little warmer. It's a little warmer. The right kidney is therefore more responsive to certain emotions that have a warm nature to them, whereas the left kidney is more responsive to emotions that have more of a cool nature to them. And the fear tends to be a little cooler. Well, I guess it depends. Like fear can kind of run across the, if it becomes more like anxiety, or frustration, then it becomes more a little bit on the hot side. But so we're clearing fear from both sides. The kidneys are clearing from both sides, but what they're doing, this is the beauty, is that because the kidneys can look at each other, the cool kidney on the left side can look at the warm kidney and can act as the witness to the experiences. And the warm kidney can look to the cool kidney and act as a witness for the experiences. And this is what we need to do. As I mentioned at the beginning of this healing session, is that we need to get down underneath the discordant feelings in order to position ourselves to utilize the potential of those discordant feelings for evolution. They witness for each other. It's like two people who love each other. I see you're going through something. It looks like it's really hard. I love you. And then that helps. Sometimes we just need to be recognized and seen. The witnessing energy is going back and forth between the two kidneys. The astral level of the physiology, where all those threads are, is forming into a little sacred geometrical shape around the kidneys, around both of them, holding them both. It's a matrix. If you're not sure what a matrix is, you can look that up on my website, on the knowledge base. The matrix around the kidneys. And the interesting thing about matrices is they tend to be fractal in form. So they'll be like the big form of the matrix, and then they're like within the matrix, there's smaller sub forms that are like the big one, like that. So the kidneys, there's a big one, and then it's got a kind of a dual form around it. So there's one matrix for each kidney. Kind of have like an infinity symbol going back and forth between the kidneys. And what's missing in the kidneys is the kidneys have not, it's at the deep level of their, as the healing, this is like a healing matrix. It's going 64-point matrix. That's a flower of life matrix, is going around the kidneys. Is that, you can look those up. Can we put that diagram in the follow-up letter? We'll put Harry's picture, we'll put the diagram of the flower of life matrix. It activates the healing potential, but the thing that the kidneys have been missing is that the heart gets this, is glorified as the place where all the warm, beautiful, sweet, life-supporting feelings emanate, and the heart is like the king of the body or something, that it holds this royal position as, and certainly the administrator of the body. But the kidneys also have this amazing potential to create feelings. Oh, isn't that interesting? Now, one of the main things that the kidneys do is they're also highly discriminative. So when feelings are produced and integrated and manifested in the kidneys, this happens in a way which is extremely intelligent. So some areas of the body, we won't name names so as not to embarrass anybody, but the feelings that come there are not tied into the intellectual process at all. But the kidneys are interesting because they integrate the intellectual, the discrimination ability and function, because that's what kidneys do, guys. They have these like little filters in them, and they filter through and like, this I'm keeping, that I'm getting rid of, right? This is a kidney. And so they've got this discrimination function built into their actual structure. But because of that, they're not often given a lot of credit for the feeling. But after all, they're regulating the blood pressure. So it means that some important feelings go down in the kidneys. This is the shift is happening here in the gap. And what it's doing is it's awakening sense of self-awareness in the kidneys, in the ego, in such a way as to expand sense of self in the kidneys. What does that mean? It means that the potential, the infinite potential, human potential is infinite. The pure potential of the kidneys, the pure potential is becoming better aligned with the kidneys' sense of what they are and who they are and how they function and what they're able to do in this body, in this place. The kidneys are, we just need to take a second here and feel into that. Just feel, take a moment. If you need to close the eyes, sometimes it's easier to feel around and put awareness in the body when the eyes are closed. But you don't have to. And feel those kidneys back there. There's a resonant relationship of love between the heart energy center. I use the word Mahamarma. That's another one you can look up on the website if you like. The heart energy center. And the kidneys are sitting just right in the junction between the heart Mahamarma and the gut Mahamarma. That means they integrate the area of the body where vast amounts of information are processed with the area of the body where we access the deep layers of consciousness, the causal body. Why the kidneys are such a mystery? Look, they're the organs that allow us to fathom down deep into those very subtle regions of creation and sort and categorize and understand the unknown. That's what the kidneys do. What a great thing, right? What a powerful organ they are. What an amazing thing kidneys are. So all the love and appreciation and attention and recognition is just flowing. It's flooding into the kidneys. And as it does that, it nurtures and nourishes and brings digestive byproducts, which don't usually go to kidneys. Kidneys are getting all the nutrient-rich blood, but how often do kidneys get soma? That's another word you can look up, SOMA, on the knowledge base. Soma. Kidneys, when they get the soma, and you have to look that. I don't want to take time because we're doing the healing. I don't want to take time to describe the soma, but those of you already know that, pretty familiar with soma. It goes to the kidneys, and as it goes to the kidneys, it literally feeds the devata of the kidneys. It nourishes it in a way that is profound and appreciated and necessary and absolutely beautiful. And that intelligence responsible for the kidneys, it wakes up, it grows, it expands, it integrates, it exercises its pure potential. As it exercises its pure potential to be the intelligence of your body that connects vast amounts of information. This is where we started this healing, remember? The Vata got out of balance because we have all these inputs from our world now with the internet and social media, too much vast amounts of information with the emotional wisdom of the physiology, which is what happens here in the heart. And the emotional wisdom of the physiology is represented at the causal level of creation as all the devata of the physiology. That's the wise intelligence of the body that represents different systems, it represents different organs, and it understands deeply, deeply how the organ is created, how it grew, what its history was, and how it's what's required for its maintenance and well-being and balance and health now. The awakening of that particular, like when we got started on this kidney healing, okay, the kidney healing's done if you want. He'll probably do this one as a clip for YouTube. But the thing is, when we started this healing, there was no way on earth I could have anticipated that it was going to become a massive healing for the kidneys. I couldn't. It's only because, you see, you guys, you touch my heart so much. It's only because we're here together as a collective, as this big, powerful healing collective, that these deeper healings and understandings and profound ability to leverage the potential of energy healing is possible. Last night, I kept stopping to tell you how beautiful you are. See how beautiful you are again. See how amazing and profound that was. I'm telling you, bringing balance to our kidneys is a key for not only at a collective level, but for each of us in an individual level of being able to navigate the changes that our socio-political world are going through at this time that are extremely challenging. So what we did in this healing is we upgraded this part of our physiologies so that we have the resources until we have access to infinite resources in the source of creation. We have access to the resources and tools to allow us as individuals, and God willing, anybody who on YouTube would like to come in on this clip, we'll probably put it up. You access them in order to stabilize your potential to be invincible and to witness in the light of the changes that are coming down the tubes these days for all of us. Witnessing allows you to maintain inner balance and equilibrium. It makes you strong so that whatever comes through, inner stability becomes the foundation for recognizing the truth and not being gripped by the emotions. There's a lot of, what do we want to call it? Like emotional, like a lot of the information that comes through these days is designed to activate the emotions, to spur a person on to feeling intense or fearful or whatever. And it just takes the wind out of that sail. This takes the wind out of the sail. But more than that, I think the long-term effects of this kidney healing are that it will allow all of us, as we're moving into the future, to better navigate the field of the unknown. Better navigate when information's coming through and it's not clear what's what, it's not clear what is actually the truth and what isn't the truth, all this is taken care of by the kidneys. Bless your kidneys. May they always be incredibly healthy. We deserve this, and we need to do this so that we can move forward in this world with grace and leave some kind of beautiful, beautiful experience for those who come after us.